Come on. All right. We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Persuasion by the Pint. I'm Jonathan Taylor, along with
Sean McCool and Jonathan. Today we're flying, just doing this on our own. No guests, no help, just figuring it out as we go.
Just winging it.
Yes,
just winging it with a flight. We like it. Not really a flight today, is it?
We have a sort of. Yeah, it's a listicle, so it's more like a 7-pack, I guess, instead of a 6-pack.
Yes,
I guess we should knock one of those off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about the the 7 greatest marketing PsyOps of the last 200 years.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we're gonna
how we've been duped.
And
how
this is
ad agencies have totally pulled the wool over our eyes completely.
Yeah, and what's crazy is the stuff that we're talking about is not like just a clever campaign like eat more chicken. Like this is like stuff that you take for granted as being true and did not realize that it's based on a marketing slogan.
Yeah.
It was completely made up.
Absolutely.
And in most of these cases with zero scientific proof or studies behind them. So yeah, that's what we talk about.
Some of these are going to be aha. Some of these, I think a lot of our listeners probably were maybe familiar with, but it's a good reminder that
you'll recognize them. It's a good reminder, but there's maybe a few new ones too. We'll see.
But here's the thing: even though we know this, we still fall into the patterns of these. These paradigms that we've been pushed into. We still do it, even though we know it's all a marketing ploy. So
this is just that weekly reminder that, hey, everybody's trying to sell you something.
That's right.
Except us. Exactly. We don't really care.
We don't care.
All right. Well, let's have some juvenile beer talk.
That's right. That's all we care about is our beverage of choice. And so I've got one. I'll go ahead with mine. I'm going to showcase. I've had this one before, but it's a single around this time of year. But it is this year's 2025 bourbon brand, Bourbon County brand original stout from Goose Island. The 2025 Bourbon County brand original stout was aged in a blend of freshly emptied barrels from Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, Four Roses, and Wild Turkey. So is that a mixture?
I'm not sure. Maybe just the same storage place, I guess. Same barrels.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. With an average aging time of 14 months, this stout delivers deeply developed flavors of fudge, vanilla, and caramelized sugar, all wrapped in a rich, decadent mouthfeel. So it is
every single one of those months adds about 50 cents to the price of the beer.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I got this small, pull this down. I've got the small, so they have the big bottles, the singles, but I got the small 4-pack, which is about $25.
Yeah.
So it's good. Hey, check it out. We got 7 for 7.
Look at that.
7 eyes for 7 greatest marketing PsyOps.
We are busting through some plateaus today. All right. So yeah, I've got something very similar, same line of thinking today on the show. So I've got Founders and their Backwoods Bastard, which is a barrel-aged stout as well.
That is beautiful. Yes.
So expect lovely warm smells of oaky bourbon barrels, sweet caramel and roasted malts, a bit of earthy spice, and a scintilla of dark fruit. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. 11%. It doesn't say how long it was aged, but long enough to.
I think that's my favorite Founders. Is
it?
Yeah, I think that is.
We'll see.
It's somewhere between the breakfast or the Backwoods.
That was my choice last night. I was going to get the breakfast stout or just this one. So I was like,
yeah,
we'll get this one.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, let's cheers it up to 7 great marketing PsyOps.
Cheers.
Look at that. We even got matching glasses. That is delectable.
Oh, I know.
All right. All right, you went first. What do you give it? Scale to 1 to 5 pints.
One more sip. Everybody knows the rules. Boy, this is it's good on the first sip, but after a while, it may be one of those that just needs to breathe a little. But I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it 4-1 because off the top, it's a little has that medicine taste a little bit, but I know the pattern of these things, and it takes some time. You know, they got to breathe a little,
or you got to drink enough that it kills your palate, and then you're just your tongue's numb.
That's probably what's going on. It's like I just don't care after about 5 sips.
Right,
but 4-1 that's a fair score.
Yeah, I'll give mine a 4-5. I think it's good. Same thing. It's got a little medicine taste on the back end, like you just took cough syrup or something. It's still lingering. So, but yeah, I mean, it's again the same. They kind of mellow out as you have them the first few minutes. So yeah, I'll give it a 4-5 because I like the taste overall. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Good stuff. Hey, I got to mention real quick before we jump in, cool little piece of equipment that I picked up this past week.
Okay.
So, on podcasting, I use this big soundboard that Rodecaster Pro that's about this big.
Yeah.
It's really bulky. So it's crazy how podcasting has got, because the technology just gets better and better. So this past week, I picked up one of these. This is called a Zoom PodTrack Pod 4 Next. It's like a little handheld. It's got 4 mic adapters, and this thing basically carries all the power of something that I had that's about yay big, sitting right next to me. So it's pretty amazing. So I can just throw this on a bag, which is great for me when I go do like trade shows and things like that. If you do like podcasting on the go or something, you just throw it in a bag and you can do interviews anywhere. So
that's cool.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody had the nerve to ask us. We have said that we like Guinness on the show before. Somebody had if we were drinking Guinness or Murphy's. Neither.
We've had Guinness.
I'm having a Founders barrel-aged stout, and Jonathan, you're having a
Goose County.
Goose Island.
Goose Wetter. Goose something.
Yeah. Goose down beer, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, well, let's jump in. I got my notes over here on this screen so we can stay on track and get Jonathan to his date with the golf course.
Yes.
Try to get in a few rounds before it gets dark at 4:30.
That's right.
Yep. All right, so we're talking today about marketing PsyOps. These are things that, for the average person, if you were asked them on the street, they're probably going to say these are just facts, not necessarily. They don't know where they came from; they just believe them, right?
Yeah.
So the first one, do you do any like tracking of your steps or anything like that?
I do. I wear a Garmin every day, and I am always looking at steps on there.
Yeah. So how many?
It's like a competition thing. Yeah. I'm like, how many steps did I get in today?
Yeah, man, we got some crazy comments today. We must have had a spam leak or something coming in our comments. Make sure you don't press.
Whoa.
Throw the wrong things on there.
We don't talk news. We don't talk current events on here. Well, sometimes we do.
Yeah.
If it's marketing related.
Yeah. So how many steps do you try to get a day?
Yeah. So I'm always trying to get above 10,000 because that's I've been hardwired.
That's the magic number, right?
That's it. That's the magic number.
Well, funny thing is the number 10,000 steps is just completely made up. And this goes back to like the 1960s in Japan. There was a marketing company. Some of you may have heard this. Great way to like completely, just the 10,000 steps. It was just completely made up. So what they did is they wanted to call the pedometer that they were making. Again, this was like 65. So what they did is they looked at their characters, and one of the characters, the character for 10,000, because they were just making up steps. Do we do 1,000, 5,000, 7,000?
Right.
But when they looked at the character for 10,000, it looks like a man walking. Mm-hmm. So that's what they picked. And that's how the 10,000 steps, they put that out in the press release. And then the next thing you know, all the studies are being done on 10,000 steps. but it was initially just completely made up, and now the science has kind of backed it up almost.
Yeah, because
Because
the science says what, basically 7,500 steps is really all you really need. I mean, it's kind of things plateau after that, but 10,000 is a nice even number.
Yeah.
Nice and clean.
Yeah. And like I said, the character, if you can see it does look like a little man walking.
Yeah.
So when they just wrote that, it's super cool.
That's amazing.
Yes, you don't have to walk 10,000. We saved you 2,500 steps a day just in this first item here. So yeah, what about you're married, I'm married. At some point you had to propose.
Yep.
And there was a rule floating around on that.
I didn't know the rule at the time because first of all, I couldn't afford that rule. And I think my engagement ring was a total of $900, which back in 2001,
It was real money.
$900 is a lot of money for a guy that didn't make anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a
maybe
rule.
that was 2 months salary. I don't know.
Could have been close. Yeah. Depending on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I didn't follow this rule. But we all think the reason diamonds are expensive is because they're scarce, because they're rare. Mm-hmm. The fact is they're not rare at all. And the fact they're very easy to find and they're on every single continent. So they're actually not rare at all. So what happened is back in the 1930s, De Beers realized that a whole bunch more diamonds were coming on the market. So they needed to keep the price high when this flood of new diamonds came on. Mm-hmm. So what they did is they started putting the diamond with something special like a wedding engagement.
Yep.
And then, of course, they came up with the famous slogan, "Diamonds are forever."
Which
makes them sound valuable, makes them sound, expensive.
Copywriter came up with that, right?
Yeah, good old copywriter. That's a lot of these are thanks to a copywriter, so love them or hate them. And then they came up with later, after Diamonds Forever, then they came up with the idea of the 2 months salary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about just picking a number out of the air. Like, what was that board meeting like? It's like, hey, how do we get people to spend more on diamonds? Well, we just tell them to spend more. Tell them to spend twice their paycheck on it.
Yeah.
I mean, just a completely made up number. It's wild that just became a thing. They started putting out press on it. But, there's a lot of guilt in that. There's a lot of expectation in that. It's like, oh, if you don't do at least 2 months, you're not serious. You're not really,
right. Yeah.
Valuing this whole thing. So you got to spend at least 2 months. So that was a brilliant two-pronged thing. One, just that diamonds were rare. And then two, that there's, because they jacked the price up, but then even more than people would. I mean, if you think about it, when diamond rings kind of came around and they started doing this, or right before they started doing it, you'd be like, I can't imagine anyone on earth would be like, yeah, let me spend 2 months salary.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, maybe a week. I don't know. Whatever they take at the pay over time window, back in the day, layaway.
Layaway. I remember those days.
Put that Kmart diamond ring on layaway. So that was a big one. Like to completely just tell people they need to spend 2 months salary on a not rare.
Which at that time that it came out, wonder what the average, what that would equal out to, somewhere between.
It was
$6,000.
It was 1947, 48, somewhere in there.
1947. Yeah. So actually, it was. Yeah, sure. You're probably.
Who knows? But you'd have to figure out what they were
probably
making then.
$5,000. That was probably $5,000 at that time.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine probably average salary was what, $2,500 a month, maybe at that time.
I doubt it was
maybe
that
even
much.
less.
In the 40s? No, it probably wasn't that big.
Oh, the 40s. Okay. Yeah. No, that would have been maybe $1,000. Maybe.
Yeah. So,
man.
But hey,
But what the brilliance in that is, it offsets inflation, because no matter what happens, with inflation, it's going to go up. So,
it's a good thing they didn't just pick a number, right?
Exactly.
Spend
that was smart
$2,500
on
on it.
their part. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was very smart on their part because you just your price goes up with inflation. So
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to number 3. Were you
okay,
ever told this one growing up? The most important meal of the day is
breakfast. Gotta have that
breakfast.
breakfast. Yes,
Gotta have the breakfast. Gotta get off to a good start, you know?
I was told that by my. I'm pretty sure my parents at one point in time said you need to,
Yeah.
you need to have your breakfast. That'll
Yeah.
get your energy going, especially before school. That was
Right.
so important. You got to eat something before you go to school.
Yeah. Then you load up on carbs and crash in 2 hours,
Right.
in the second class.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't the best idea. Maybe it wasn't even based in science, actually,
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So this came about, started off with the Kellogg's brothers, and they made cereal for their patients in a mental hospital. And then, they started marketing as this, basically instead of oatmeal where you got to cook it and it's got to soften,
Right.
they were like, oh, we could make these little cereal clusters and, people can eat those. But most people weren't eating breakfast. A lot of people at that time, so this was early 1900s, 1920s. Right. And so a lot of people there they'd have big lunches and big dinners, but they didn't have big breakfasts still. Right. Yep. A lot of them didn't have time. They were, off to the factories or whatever. So it was usually lunch and then a big dinner at home. So, but they needed, how do we sell more food? There's one extra meal that people aren't having. Let's just tell them it's the most important meal and make it easy for them. Put it in a box and pour it out, and you got breakfast.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was part of it, was the cereal conglomerate, and then the other part of it was actually from bacon. Mm-hmm. So bacon producers wanted to sell more bacon, and so in the 1920s, a public relations consultant for Beechnut Packaging, which is the bacon company, asked a physician to confirm that a hearty breakfast, in quotes, was better than a light one.
Yeah.
And then what this firm did is they were like, okay, he said, yes, we'll call that a study. And they ran it as a study. I mean, this is like 1920s, so they ran it as a study and actually sent that out to like 5,000 doctors so that people would start recommending a hearty breakfast, which would of course include bacon. So that's kind of where the breakfast is the important meal of the day came from, was bacon and cereal.
Bacon and cereal.
Which I have no problem with either one of those products, by the way.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of cereal anymore, but I love bacon. I'll eat bacon.
It's what's funny is I only eat cereal like afternoon as a snack. Like I don't ever use it in the morning. It's just I don't know, it's nice crunchy something. So yeah. So
it's funny going back to like some of my some of my people on my mom's side of the family who are farmers. Mm-hmm. I remember them, like my uncle and my great uncle. They would never. One thing I noticed is they didn't do breakfast. They were out early in the morning. They were working in the fields early in the morning. They'd come home for lunch, and then it's like you said, they would have a big meal at lunch, and then take a siesta. Another good.
Get a hammock out there. Right
get after a little siesta going, and then get back out and work until till sundown, and then come in for dinner. But there was no breakfast at all.
Just a waste of time.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about. So this one surprised me when I learned about this one a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I'd kind of heard rumors, but I wasn't sure if it was true or not.
Yeah, this one's fascinating.
And then I saw on one of the like History Channel or one of those things where they, maybe it could have been a Prime documentary, whatever, just something online where it talked about this very thing. And I was like, oh my God, it's true. So the false truth, what we think is true, is that if we put these plastic items that we haul home from the store into a blue bin and set it out by the curb, that it's being recycled and reused, and we're not creating as much waste as, we can be guilt-free about the waste we're creating. And it sounds like something that would have been started by the consumers or kind of everyday person, right?
Right.
The whole idea of recycling.
Yeah. But it wasn't.
Turns out it wasn't. Turns out it was because the packaging industries, the plastic industries, were turning everything into plastic. I
Right.
mean, Jonathan, do you remember when we had our Coke bottles were actually glass?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, you had the original Coke bottle, and then you got those little fat 16-ounce bottles with a little thin styrofoam wrapper around it. That was always so
Yep.
fun to peel off.
Yep.
And then those went away, and everything went to plastic.
Yep.
So, over the last 40, 50 years, plastics have been getting a bad rap. Everybody uses them. So they need to make their image a little better and make people feel less bad about all this plastic that was being produced.
Yeah.
So they created the Society of Plastics industry, created the now famous chasing arrows, the 3 recycle arrows. They created that.
Which is
And
on everything nowadays. I
yeah,
mean,
it's on everything. And then
even
it's got the
stuff that you're
number.
like, I'm pretty sure that that's not recyclable. But it has that little triangle of,
Yeah,
that
it'll have a
arrow.
number 1 through 7 on it. They made those numbers up and what, different types of plastic are.
Yeah.
So basically what they created this whole movement around recycling so that people would feel less guilty about the amount of plastic they were using. They could just throw it in this trash can instead of that
Right.
trash can. But here's
At
the
the same
rub.
time, creating more work for us, the consumer, right?
Yeah, it's
So
another
they've kind of
self-serve thing, right?
shifted the responsibility to the consumer. It's not on them anymore. It's actually on us.
Yeah. So if
To
you
take
don't
care of that.
recycle, you're a bad person, right? Like you're a monster.
Yeah. Right.
So, but here's the crazy part, and
Yeah.
I guess they knew this, and that's why they had to do the campaign.
Right.
Less than 10% of all plastic that's ever been created has been recycled.
Yep. Yeah.
And this documentary I watched, they had pallets and pallets and bundles in these big warehouses just piling up, that they can't do anything with. They're trying to figure out where to put them. It's almost like hazardous waste. Like they don't know where to put them. So they're just stacking up in these warehouses. But it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because now people don't blame the plastics industry because, they can help out.
No, they blame their neighbor. Oh my gosh. You guys don't recycle? You don't have a recycling bin?
Yeah. You didn't rinse that and put that in the recycling bin? Yeah.
So we've had a recycling bin in our garage for years where the plastic goes, but our son, he's the one that educated me. He said, Dad, you need to research that just as you said, 10%. I think he said it was less than 10% of plastic actually gets recycled and it ends up going into the ocean or the waste or what, into, landfills or whatever. So this is all a big scam. And I'm like, oh, come on. Sure enough.
Yep.
I checked that out. He was right. So
yeah. Kids these days, man, they stay on top of their stuff. They know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They know. Yeah.
Yeah. They said pretty much the only thing that is recyclable are like water bottles and milk jugs. Everything else is pretty much impossible to recycle or very hard to use, different colors, all that kind of stuff. So, recycling, you don't have to do it. Doesn't matter. So
we've all been programmed like Pavlov's dog. It goes back to, if you ring the bell or if you show the sign or whatever, if you say it enough times, people just buy into it. Right.
Yep.
Tell a good story. And
it sounded so official. They got the logo, they got the 7 levels. Like
the logo makes it totally official.
Yeah. And with the number, well, I think the 1 through 7 numbering made it sound very like scientific and official too.
Right.
Yeah. When it's actually all just going in the same place, So it's
so arbitrary. So arbitrary. Yeah. It's crazy. It makes me think of the book, Thinking Fast and Slow. I need to go back through that book again, just how the lizard brain is so easily duped. By these messages.
The heuristics. We're always looking for a shortcut in our brain. So
shortcuts, always.
Get something that makes sense and seems plausible, like, all right, good enough. Until until proven otherwise, we'll go with that.
Buy it. Sounds good to me.
So we've got 2 or 3 more. I know you're short on time. Which one do you want to go over?
Well, let's touch Rudolph.
Okay. That sounds inappropriate, but okay.
All right.
Let's
touch his. let's touch on Rudolph.
Okay. Touch on his story, maybe.
Given the touch on the story. Given the fact that we're about 2 weeks from Christmas, we're
yeah.
going to we're just going to destroy everybody's everybody's love of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
We
like
should
something that's been
while
around
we're there,
forever.
we could just kill Santa while we're at it, and
Yeah.
Santa Claus and the whole thing.
Yeah, let's knock them all out. So
flush them down the toilet.
So Rudolph with the red-nosed reindeer, I mean, you got the old song, but there was a life before the 1940s where I don't know how, but people survived without Rudolph. Presents got delivered without Rudolph at the helm, And
how did Santa drive his sleigh, man?
I don't know. How to get through the fog? We don't know. But what happened was in 1939, this is the heyday of, print catalogs were everywhere. That's how everybody bought stuff.
Yep.
Or in store. So in 1939, Robert May, a copywriter for Montgomery Ward, not everybody. Montgomery Ward was a shopping store. What do you call that? Shopping. I just went blank. Department store.
Department. Okay.
Yeah, there's not many of those left. So
what are those?
So Montgomery Ward would have been in the day, I guess, like Target is today.
Yep.
Right? Or maybe the closest thing. So anyway, they wanted to bring in more Christmas traffic. So they wanted to create a book and a character that they could give away for free to draw in families. They want to get a copy of the book and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So he was just told to make up a Christmas character and a story to go with it. And he comes back with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yep.
And they printed up like little books for kids. And in the first season, they passed out 2.4 million copies.
Wow.
In that first year at all the Montgomery Ward stores.
Now, when did the jingle come about at that same time, or is that?
It came out a little bit later, and I think there's a whole story of like the copywriter ended up getting copyrights to Rudolph. He was able to get it from his employer. Like, pretty cool story there.
Mm-hmm.
The copywriter Robert May, he had a brother-in-law or something like that, who was in the music world, and then eventually wrote the jingle or the music to go along with the story.
Yeah.
And then, of course, was it Gene Autry, I think, that started singing that, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed, or Johnny Marks might be the other guy involved. I can't remember if he's just the songwriter or if he also sang it, but yeah, lots of people have sung it since then.
Gene Autry, I thought he was the one that actually sang, but he might be one of the ones.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody's used it, right? Everybody's put it on their Christmas album or whatever. So yeah, that all started as just a way to get parents into stores to grab a copy of the book, and then they're reading the book, and of course, at the end, it's probably going to say, Montgomery Ward, or on the back, published by Montgomery Ward. So yeah, they ended up using that for years, and now everybody has, because it's out of copyright. So Rudolph is available to everyone to use and misuse however they want. They can touch him or not touch him, whatever they want to do.
So inappropriate.
Yes. So let's real quick, because I know you got to run, but like the other part of Christmas is Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yeah.
And we know this
the Santa Claus that we have come to be accustomed to, right? In the red suit, the fat guy with the beard and the red suit.
Speaking of which, have you seen the movie with Mel Gibson called Fat Guy? The Christmas movie?
No.
It's from 2020. I don't know how we missed this one, but yeah, it's called Fat Guy. It's with Mel Gibson as Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And it's more like a Jason Bourne movie than a Christmas movie. So
okay.
Very interesting to
Fat Guy.
Gotta watch that one. It's my recommendation for the year.
Okay. All right.
But speaking of the fat guy, yeah, and I mean, historically, the versions of Santa Claus they would wear anything: blue, green, plaid, I guess whatever they had laying around, right?
Yeah.
But then they got sponsorship by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is like, hey, why don't we we needed more sales in winter because Coke at that time, again, early 1900s, Coke at that time was mostly a summertime drink.
Right.
And people didn't keep drinking it in the winter like we do now,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So they're
They're
like,
on to
we need to we need a way to
eggnog.
tie Coke and Christmas together, and all this stuff. So they created the red and white version of Santa Claus that we have today, with the reindeer and the sleigh, everything red and white.
Yep.
To, I guess, hypnotically suggest Coca-Cola, since that's their colors.
Right.
But they owned the rights to that looking Santa Claus for a long time, and obviously now everybody uses it. But
Yeah.
But now every Santa Claus that you see on store shelves, the toys, like all that stuff, they all have that same red and white, and that was all created in the marketing department.
Originated right out of
Yeah,
it's amazing.
it seems so official.
It's funny because, and then you think of the polar bear too, like you got the polar bear drinking the Coke, and it's amazing how all of these things, these things start popping up around the holidays. You start seeing them, but then you think, oh man, where did that originate? Because you see Santa drinking a cola.
Yeah.
And and it's just it's so funny. And then when you read the history of it, because Saint Nick was nothing like, if you read the origins of Saint Nicholas, it was nothing like what we have today, or what the picture that we have today, and all the marketing.
Yeah, the old Santa stuff is much more like Marvel
not
Avengers type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all kinds of weird things going on with monsters. What was there was a movie recently that went into that angle. Was that? Oh, that was the one with The Rock in it, Red One.
Oh yeah.
It kind of went into some of that.
I didn't watch that, but yeah. I saw the previews for that.
Yeah, they got into his old brother, who's the guy that gives, he's on the bad side,
right,
and all that. No, that was good because they introduced a lot of the Norwegian, monsters that come out of that same part of Christmas. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff about Christmas, like where Christmas trees come from. But that's not marketing. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's marketing of different religions and things like that. But
yeah.
But of course, everything's been touched by marketing, right? Because then you gotta light your tree. You gotta, take all these different traditions from all these different cultures. Some use candles, some use ribbon. Oh, let's just put them all on the tree. That way we can sell more stuff.
Yep, exactly.
So it's all kind of tied together. Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew commercial was Christmas was very commercial. But it's kind of funny to see how far back some of these stories go. Almost. I mean, the Santa Claus from Coca-Cola, that's over 100 years old now.
Yeah.
So that's what, 3-4 generations that grew up with that imagery. Kind of hard to ignore.
Yeah, if you like read some of the old, like the classics, like A Christmas Carol, like Charles Dickens, I mean, there's no mention of Santa Claus in there. It's like it's like, that's all so modernized, and it's just amazing how much Madison Avenue and all the advertising agencies have really duped us. But it's so fun.
It wasn't interesting that, like, some of those early depictions, Santa's workshop, had like an assembly line feel to it, like all that kind of stuff, because that's what was big right then, right?
Absolutely.
Henry Ford had just introduced the assembly line, and the industrialization and the packaging, and so they had that whole backstory to fall onto as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the naughty or nice lessons, who's been naughty, who's been nice. I mean, the more morality that comes into that, that plays into it,
the blackmail for parents to blackmail their children.
Absolutely.
Tis the season.
You can go deep, man. But it reminds me of the old saying, like we've talked about this time and time again, like in marketing. Like marketing isn't just, if you look at it, like so much of marketing isn't just solving an existing problem, but eventually you run out of ways to, you hit a plateau if you're just solving that problem that you've created a product for, right? So you have to create part of what marketers do is they create new problems that same product can fix, right?
Yep.
Just like the
Or their
Coca-Cola.
next product or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
Yep.
So you're creating, we go back to the Listerine, like the story of Listerine that we've talked about in the past, how creating a whole, industry of people
Halitosis.
with halitosis, right? I mean, it's like something that was just completely made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Still working 100 years later. It's
100
crazy.
years later, still
I mean,
going.
there's been all this marketing and a lot of this stuff from the early 19th or 18th century,
Yep.
1900s. It's amazing how long those ideas stuck around, but I guess there wasn't as much competition for ideas back then.
Mm-hmm.
So you had entire generations that were completely convinced that this was true.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any reason to not think it wasn't true.
Right.
But then they carry that and they're like, if your parents use Crest, you probably ended up using Crest. That,
Yep.
it's in there for a long time. So I wonder what stuff that we know is marketing today that maybe in like a generation or two, it'll just be part of like just common culture. I mean, there's probably,
I'm sure that there'll be a lot.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like we're living, like there's people who got Rudolph and they realized that Montgomery Ward wrote the book and
Mhm.
that it was a children's book and somebody just made it up. And I know we all know that that's still true, but like,
Right.
I think you don't realize how recent it was. Although
Yeah.
some people would say that's not very recent since it has been around 75 years.
Exactly. Yeah, and the fact that that's a testimony of just how powerful the fact that it's lasted that long.
Yeah.
One that we didn't even mention was, to me, that always comes to mind is owning a home. Like that's the American dream. How we've been sold on the American dream of everyone needs to own a home, whereas just about every every sophisticated investor out there will say owning a home is like one of the worst investments you can have, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, it feels great, but it's kudos to the real estate. I mean, they've done an incredible job of selling, the American dream, and the American dream apparently is, having a home. And so it's
and grass. I mean, that's another one. Like the manicured yards, that's all grass. I mean, that's a relatively new invention from I think the 40s or 50s.
Yep.
All these Mad Men days, man. They were
doing
again. They didn't have as much competition. They could saturate an idea
right
in ways that you cannot do today.
Yep.
So they had that advantage, and then it just became part of culture.
Yep.
So yeah,
we could probably, this could be a segment. You could go deep and you could break it down by genders, how, how marketers have used a lot of this stuff in terms of the genders for both male and female, because it works differently for both genders. So it would be a lot of fun to kind of go down that road on an episode.
We'll throw out a few I didn't do here. So if you want to learn more, like do some research on the white wedding dress. Why white?
Yeah.
Why is it white? It's not probably what you think. The other one, of course, is the food pyramid. Completely fake science that made that one up. And I think that was
or what about white? You can't wear white after Labor Day. I'm sure that was a marketing ploy to get people to buy more. Right?
Oh yeah, buy fall clothes and summer clothes, right? You got 2 seasons. Now they just sell you everything all year round.
You're not allowed to, as soon as Labor Day passes, you can't wear white.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. The gray company. The autumn red company. All these companies that wanted to sell more. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Because most people don't actually feel that weather change for a while.
Sure.
So they had to push it up to Labor Day, and that was like a nice beginning of, start selling some fall clothes and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely. All right.
So anyway, all right, man. Well, it's good stuff. If anybody's got some other ideas they want to share with us about something they know that maybe we're overlooking on that, that'd be great.
Yep. Yeah, feel free to comment on our YouTube channel or send us an email. You can check us out over at persuasionbythepint.com. You can follow us on we're on every podcast channel. So whatever platform you subscribe to, check us out there. And are we doing, I don't know what our holiday schedule is because we got, I'm good next week. I don't know what your schedule is because the week after is Christmas. So we won't be doing that week or the week after. So maybe we'll do one more show before the holidays.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
Christmas
we'll knock out one
time.
more next week and then we'll take a little break. But yeah, check us out. This is episode, what is this, 4?
Oh man, we didn't even change the banner at the bottom. Oh well.
What is it for?
So it'd be 414.
414 now. Yeah. So this episode is 414. Check us out. Persuasionbythepint.com. We'll see you guys next week. I'm not sure. We may have a guest next week. We'll throw out some queries and see. And if not, we'll do another flight.
All right. Sounds
good. See you guys.
See you.